want to talk about Hunter Biden. Let's talk about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden turns out really is under an investigation, and the Justice Department has known it and kept their mouth shut for a while. I want to turn back to National Public Radio that in October explained that they were not going to pursue the Hunter Biden story because the Hunter Biden story was frivolous nonsense. That is what National Public Radio said back in October. We won't waste our time on stories that are not really stories, and we don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' time on stories that are just pure distractions. The Politico ran a story that Hunter Biden story is Russian disinformation. Dozens of former intel sources say. Now, I just saw something by Ari Fleischer. Hang on. What is Ari? Ari is pointing this out, just how broken the media is on this stuff. Yes, same stuff I just read, these headlines. The media covered up for Hunter Biden. They said it was Russian disinformation. Anything bad about Hunter Biden was said to be Russian disinformation. Never mind. And also, Twitter blocking the New York Post story. They covered up for Hunter Biden. They circled the wagons. And now that the election is over, they're like, oh, okay, we can treat this story real now. The story is that Hunter Biden is a deeply screwed up person who really did have ties with China. The Trump campaign and everyone who pointed it out acknowledged that that was the case, and the media refused to engage the story because they didn't want to hurt Joe Biden. Now that the election is over, they want to try to be fair again, but not really fair. Are they really going to pursue this? If the media treated this story the way they treated the Donald Trump stories, there would be wall-to-wall coverage now of, will Joe Biden pardon him? Can we get a commitment from Joe Biden that he won't pardon Hunter Biden? Can we get a commitment? It really shows you just how in the tank the media is for the Democrats. But here's the bottom line. Hunter Biden did profit from his dad being vice president. What's to stop him from doing so now? The real story here is that Hunter Biden is under a federal investigation, not just for taxes apparently, but for his ties to the communist Chinese and his business dealings in China. That is the real story. The real story is that the story you heard in October was the real story. Now, I will say this, as I said then, and I stand by the point then, making the story by the Trump campaign pursuing the Hunter Biden stuff, making it about Hunter Biden, was a distraction from campaigning against Joe Biden and Joe's policies and the president's policies. They shouldn't have done it, but the media should have still covered the story. Saying that the Trump campaign should not have made Hunter Biden their central focus does not mean it should not have been covered. It should have been covered by the media and should have been covered by a fair press. The media went overtime trying to discredit anyone who touched the story. The folks at Fox News and the like. And now they're all coming out saying, oh, hey, Hunter Biden, look, there's a story here. Yes, there was a story 2 months ago when you chose not to run the story. We are, as a country, and the media doesn't want to acknowledge it. The media has no self-reflection. But I really do think we are where we are as a country in large part because the media has chosen not to cover things fairly, but to pick a side. And the media picked a side well before Donald Trump was president of the United States. Just Donald Trump made them comfortable revealing their side. Social media made them comfortable revealing their side. The media and the Democrats largely align. And they have covered up stories for the Democrats while attacking Republicans. Only after the election is over will they run the Eric Swalwell story. Only after the election is over will they run the Hunter Biden story. There is no doubt in my mind that the day after the election in Georgia in January, when Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue win, only then will the media start talking about, Ossoff and Warnock, they were so radical for Georgia, these crazy positions they had. That not a moment before the election is over Will they do that? But the moment they both lose, they'll be very self-reflective on how these were terrible candidates. And yet again, there will be a cycle of idiocy in the media where they will do everything they possibly can to cover for the Democrats. And people will distrust them fundamentally. You know, the left distrusts the media as well. It's not just the right. The left also distrusts them for different reasons, but distrusts them. The media has picked a side. They will run cover for the left until they can't. And when they cover a story where someone on the left looks bad, where someone on the left does something bad, they will not treat it in the same way they would something on the right. Let's